What's up guys, Chris here, back again with another video on the channel. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about Thursday flipping investment guide. This is the type of video that I know a lot of you guys want to watch, for me to make. So we're going to make this video today talking about things you guys could possibly look at with the market over the next couple of days, going into Thursday when you guys can buy cards, etc. So before we get into the video today, if you guys can, drop a like on the video. Let's say 100, that would be awesome. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. 2,400 subs away from 10K. We're trying to hit that by Christmas. I know we can get that. Get involved with the Twitch and get involved with us over on the Discord as well. It's free. All guides, trading tips in that Discord as well. Links will be in the description for all that stuff. And also, you guys can follow my Twitter too if you haven't already. Just knowing when I go live and when I upload and stuff like that. So, let's talk about it. What's going to happen, obviously, this Thursday. I think the market's going to do pretty well this Thursday. Now, I think there's going to be an opportunity, depending on what we get on Wednesday, whatever, like, loading screen maybe, because Team of the Group stage could be this Friday. Now, what I would recommend to you guys before we get into the video is getting out of your stuff. If you want to be risk-free, you could wait till, you could probably sell before 6 p.m. UK time. If you guys want to kind of play it out, you can wait till after 6 p.m. in the market. Should rise a little bit higher, especially for the out-of-packs and icon type cards. As long as we don't get really a loading screen. If we don't get a loading screen, the market's going to go even higher on Thursday because it shows there's not going to be really a promo on Friday. And people are going to be really good to buy cards. They're going to have the confidence to buy. So, a couple of cards I want to look at with you guys. I'm a huge fan of this card. Now, I already have a couple. I think I bought about 5 or 6 of Rashford at like 215. You guys can look at my transfer list right now. I have, let's see, I have 7 actually. I have 7 Rashford cards. We were picking them up at, that was a 220 from last week, 217, 215, 216, 213, and cards like that, 210 as well. I like this card. If you guys can find them at 215, sorry, I really like that. I like Varane's as well. If you guys can find Varane at like 250-ish on PS, that's really good. And let me see if I can look at a price on Xbox for you guys to go pick them up at. But Varane is just an opportunity for you guys to buy into this card. I still think he's undervalued. He's French. He gets strong links to other cards that are French. 250 would be an amazing price for me here. I think it definitely can go to 270s, 280s. So if you want to go take a look at Varane, that's definitely something I'm looking at. I like this Oscar card. Now, he's one of the only cards that is not really up that much out of all the other record breakers. If you take a look at some of these record breakers, this guy's up 20k, all right? This guy's up like 30, 40k. This guy's up like 20k. This guy is not up at all. And this guy is like up 15, 20k. This guy's up like 200k. And this guy's up like 17, 18 because Romagnoli got leaked into the team of the week. So that's why he's really starting to rise last night and obviously now. So if you look at Oscar, why do I like Oscar? Well, first of all, he's not really up that much. All right, if you look at the other percentage rises on some of these cards, it's bigger than this guy. Okay. Now, what I also really like about him is if you go to FIFA 21 players and you type in the league, right? You go to the Chinese Super League, right? Okay, that's the league he plays in. So if I show you guys here, what's going on with him, right? You've got Paulinho, you've got Talisca, you've got Alessandrini's SBC, you've got Teixeira, and you've got his other card, Teixeira. A lot of people run lower budget teams, cards that, not as many people have millions of coins to spend on teams. So for me, a guy like Oscar, and the fact that he's, if you could find him at like 75, 76k, for me, that's almost a no-risk investment because these guys quick sell at like 70k. So you're not going to really lose much on this card, even if he doesn't really rise that much. And I think he fits perfectly because he gets links to players that, first of all, Alessandri is an SBC right now. And, I mean, we've seen the rises on some of these cards as well. For example, this Teixeira at Apex is up like 60,000 coins. So the fact that he's up 60,000 coins, I really think that Oscar has some room to rise again. And 79 still is too cheap, but I would try to find him at 76. And on Xbox, same thing. Try to find him at like 77, 76. That's probably what I've been looking at for him. With some other like meta gold cards, like meta populars, take a look at a guy like Pogba Under 150 for Pogba is my buy price. Again, French players will probably do well because of the Alessandrini SBC. People are going to find a way to link them. And I like Pogba. I like Varane. Well, I like Mendy as well. Like, these are French players that people are going to be building teams around. So I like these guys in particular. Try to look for undercuts. Be patient with it as well. You have Tuesday night. You have Wednesday. And then if you want to, on some of these lower tier goals, we're talking the Aubameyangs, the Martials, right? Cards that I believe are still going to go up on Thursday after rewards. You could either buy before rewards for a decent undercut, or you can wait till rewards to buy those cards as well. Because they're initially going to get a lot of supply, and then that supply is going to drop, and people are going to start buying in to their teams. So I like a guy like Martial, maybe like 55, 56. Wijnaldum, I think, is a no risk as well, like 26, 27 if you can find him at rewards. Aubameyang in 100 is pretty good. You know, and players like that, you know, maybe Sterling in the low 50s. I like Griezmann. I think he's going to be going into packs as well. If you guys can find Griezmann, because apparently he's getting into Team of the Week this week. That means his gold card's going into packs. You also look at the La Liga strikers. There's not a ton of them. He gets the link to Alessandrini. I think a lot of things are, you know, happening for this card that makes him, for me, something that you want to look at probably sooner rather than later. I think if he does start hitting 37, 38, you're probably not going to want to look for this card anymore because there's so many people that have bought him. But if you can find the low 30s still, I still think that's pretty good. I mean, this Watkins card, I don't know if it really had risen last week too much. It actually did. It went from 65 all the way to 70. You guys could find this card in the low 60s, and you could pretty much guarantee him going to 70 plus K. Maybe even 73, 74. That's what I got. I bought like 20 of them last week at like 63, and I saw them all for 70, 73 plus, stuff like that. If you look at Watkins, he's a really good card. You know, English, 90 pace, 84 shooting. Really good card there. So take a look at there. I still think this Valverde's got room to rise. If you can find this in the 230s, I still think it's going to go higher for the out-of-pack best stuff cards. I would say another card to look out for with this stuff. Let me just go up a little bit and just see. You know, Mane, I think, is going to rise. I think Salah's going to rise as well. Even though he is a right wing, I still think he's going to go up. Timo Werner at rewards, you can either buy or buy him before rewards. That you're looking for like mid 80s probably. You're looking for some sort of pack supply SBC on Wednesday as well to kind of drop these cards a little bit. I don't believe we got marquee matchups for UCL, so you know they may be dropping on the Wednesday. If they do, you might see a little bit of a drop off on guys like Pogba, Rashford, Son, Werner, De Bruyne, right? Aubameyang, Martial. These type of cards that you know are going to rise a little bit on Thursday. You can take a look at some of those tomorrow on the Wednesday. Now, another thing I'll be looking at would be the PGP page for some of these special cards. So if you take a look at one of the biggest special cards, by far a card that is always going to rise on Thursday, is Renato Sanchez. Now, he's already up 20,000 coins, but I still like this card at under 220. I really do. He's one of the most used cards this year. He gets the link to many different cards in this game, including Neymar, Mbappe, Cristiano. A lot of pro players like using them as well. I'm not too familiar, but if the qualifiers are this week, this even helps this guy's price even better. He's 225 right there. Right now, if I can find a 215 or 220, I really like that. And on Xbox, realistically, what it is looking at the graph on Xbox and seeing how inflated these guys are first, and then kind of applying a little bit of common sense and like how much have they risen in past weeks. Like this Renato last week went up 25,000 coins. He went from 240k. If you look, see, it's not going to show it here, but last week he went from 240 and he went all the way to like, well, actually I bought a couple at 230 and he sold for like 265. But then obviously the best of kind of put out, you know, made him drop like 50k. But I still think it's going to go back up. This same maximum, you can expect him to go 370, 380. If you could find 340s for that, that's pretty good. He always rises on Thursdays and Fridays. If you take a look right here, last week he was 309. He went to 322. And then by Friday, he was like 350, 360. So with a good market rise, I think it's going to go even higher. Try to find the 340s for that same Maximin. Another card that's really good is going to be this Upamecano. Again, another card that's inflated but did very well last Thursday. A very solid rise. 165 went all the way up to about 190 by Friday. And you don't just have to sell these out of pack cards before 6 p.m. You can literally look at these cards, after 6 p.m. because as long as there's not like a huge loading screen that's going to cause panic to the market, you guys should be okay with these out of pack cards. So you can gamble if you want to on there not being a loading screen on the Thursday. If I take a look at Upamecano right now, he's 197. For me, I'm trying to look for like a 185 to 190 for this guy for me to really get involved. So some of these cards are a little inflated, but you have time to get on some of these guys. You have time, guys. Make sure you guys are being patient. Find the prices that are good for you. Like, for example, this Thibaut Courtois, right? A card that gets a lot of links to players. Last week did very well. 113 all the way to 135 on the Friday. If you take a look at this Courtois here, right? He had a high of 145. And then earlier today, he was like 130s, right? So I know that this card is probably going to go into like the high 140s on Wednesday if we don't get much content. So what you want to do is you want to find a Courtois at like 135, 137, right? And all you need for this card to make profit is like 148, and you'll make about 4 to 5k a card by buying that. So I'm going to be paying attention to a lot of the out-of-pack specials. Look for the French cards. French is huge this week. Look for guys that have always been used. If you go take a look at some of the past Team of the Weeks, right? We're looking at the Rulebreaker cards. Rulebreaker should do very well this week. Maybe a Cordial at 220 is my buy price for him. Van Aanholt 210 I really do like. He already hits like 225 on days, so that's good. This Roy should go to like 480, 490. If you can find like a 430-ish for this card, and he does fluctuate to that. I really do like that. If you see right here, he goes to like 465 a day. Try to find like a 440, 430. That's another card that I really do like. The Rule Breakers are really rare, which is what I really like about them. So it doesn't take them a lot to really, it doesn't take them a lot to really go up that much. I mean, you've got a 450 here. I'm looking for more of like a 435. If I can get that, I will buy it. But again, I'm not rushing, right? I'm not going to buy an inflated price because, I need to buy stuff. I will find stuff to buy. More Rule Breakers here, right? Guys like Kamara, guys like Andre have already seen huge rises. But again, League One is a very hyped up league this year. So pay attention to these guys. Another thing to pay attention to also, if you go to the PGP page, is looking for, not just only other, special cards. For example, a Jamie Vardy. Obviously he does have a record breaker card. Zaha would be another card I'm looking at. Gomez being out of packs now, I would expect him to rise a little bit. Partey, I think, would go up a little bit. Valverde, we talked about. Watkins, we talked about. Not the 81, but the 84 card. Kimmich always goes up on Thursdays as well. You could take a look at him. Look at graphs, guys. That's the biggest thing. Look at graphs. Do some research. What have they been going for? How high are they over the last few days? Now, another version of a card I'd be looking at would be icons. Now, I'd be going to all icons. Who are the most used icons in the game this year? Who do you expect to go up in price? Well, this Zola right here is 820k right now. Now, this guy was literally just like 850, okay? I was seeing him at 850 right there. All right, he's all of a sudden down to 800. So if I want to buy this for a Thursday flip, say he goes to like 880k on Thursday, which is very possible, a 30-40k rise. I need to find him at like 810, 800. That's about 30-40k on that card. That for me is pretty solid. This Baby Gattuso always does well. I would expect Nedved to rise. I expect guys like Baby Haji to rise a little bit. Another card I really like every week is like some of the English icons. So taking a look at Gerrard, taking a look at like Sol Campbell, right? Kaká. These kind of cards are really good. Ian Wright's baby card. If you could find Ian Wright's baby card like 300 flat, Baby Lampard, right? These sort of English icons, they always do well every Thursday. Try to find them at like 300 here. The Lampard baby, you try to find them at like 260, right? You want to find undercuts on these icons. You will find them if you search for them, and you're patient with your buy prices. But it's all about looking at graphs. So let me explain to you guys, how do I look at graphs and tell you guys okay, how do I make coins on these cards? So I take a look at this Ian Wright. How do I look at these graphs? You scroll down, you go to the hourly graph, you go to yesterday, okay? Because it's late night, I'm looking at yesterday's graphs. He's 312, down to 304, up to 315, down to 299, and then he went to 310. So what I'm seeing here is I'm looking at a 300, because not only does he already go to 310 to 315, right, which is where I can kind of break even on my tax. That's why I'm looking at 300. I'm looking for somebody to put him about 300, even a 290 if I want to be a little bit greedy, right? You will find listings up. So take a look at icons, take a look at some of the gold meta cards. If some of the lower tier gold metas you want to buy at rewards, you could play that safe and buy then. But you're going to be on, you have to be on the rewards, like first 10, 15 minutes, and then it's gone. The buying opportunity is done. Look out for those gold metas, the Marcials, the Joe Gomez, the Suns, the Aubameyang's, the Werners, those kind of guys. And if you want to buy before, as long as you can find a decent undercard on them, you could definitely buy before. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video today. Make sure you guys do drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll talk to you guys in the video soon. Peace out.